Here we go. Control, lots of front brake, front brake. So the question is, what do you do when you got something like that? We still do number one, pick a line and commit to it. Controlling my speed, a little bit of slippage, release. Hey guys, it's Mike, the middle-aged mediocre mountain biker out here in beautiful Bellingham once again. Today's video is all about how I ride the really steep stuff. In particular, we're gonna focus on some rock slabs today. So to get us started, I've chosen this trail called Cougar. Cougar is a relatively flat trail with very little downhill and definitely no steep on it. So I know what you're thinking right now. Why in the world would we start on a flat trail? Well, it's complicated, but I believe the most important thing for me, at least, in getting brave to ride the steep stuff was learning how to control my speed. And the way to control your speed is learning to trust that front brake. So let me explain and we'll get to some fun stuff. All right, Mikers, here we go on Cougar. I'm 50. If you're like me, when I was young, the first time I got a bike with a front brake, it was pounded into my head. Don't squeeze your front brake or you'll go OTB. That is just not true. And in fact, controlling your speed with the front brake is the most important thing in learning how to ride steep stuff. So why am I doing this trail? Because I want you to do it, or to do any flattish trail and only use your front brake. That's right. I am not gripping my rear brake at all. And the goal in this exercise is just to get comfortable trusting that you're not gonna go OTB. So all this front brake only, and even do a hard brake. See that? How quickly you can stop. And that back tire stayed planted on the ground. So that is just one simple thing you can start doing on your rides, and especially as the trail gets a little steeper, like even this little tiny thing here. In fact, I'm gonna show you this again. This little thing right here. It's just an exit on a trail, not too steep. But if you're just beginning to ride steep tech, steep lines, steep slabs, any chance you get, just practice. So I'm gonna go down this only gripping front brake and see how slow I can go. So this is all front brake. And even doing little stuff like that will build up your confidence as it has done mine. All right, let's find some steep stuff now. All right, guys, before we jump into some really steep stuff, I just want to demonstrate real quick. I found a couple little things. And yeah, that's a good tip. You know, start with something small. Start with something you can build your confidence on. But I just kind of want to show you with gripping front brake how much you can control going down something a little steep. Here we go. It's just front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake. Just like that. Here we go. It's just front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake. Just like that. See if I can hit that one more time. So this is like 90% front brake and then release. And you can control yourself so well. 90% front brake and then release. And you can control yourself so well. Let's find another one. All right, here's another real short little chute. And again, even if you're coming in hot, come to the edge, front brake, control, and release. Come to the edge, front brake, control, and release. And I'll bet I could have even gone slower there. Let's see. I should point out the key to going slow, for me at least, is having good balance, confident. Really, it's just like confidence on your bike going super duper slow. So like, I'll just practice my track stands. can I keep my feet no dab? So that's all no dab. So then when you come to something, you slow up, spot it, release. Slow up, spot it, release. Voila. All right, let's go have some fun. All right, Mikers, as I'm filming this video, like, obviously, I don't say that I'm the best mountain biker in the world. I'm not. And there's a lot of great content out there of guys that really know their stuff, that teach you how to do all this better than I could. My hope today, though, is to kind of show you, what goes on in my head as a 50-year-old mediocre mountain biker. I'm never going to be a pro, nor do I want to be. So how did I progress on some of this stuff? So this is a trail called Dad Bod. And there's one little steep chute here that I'm going to show you guys. So this is kind of a gnarly steep section. And to be honest, I used to not even ride this the first couple times I rode this trail. Now, of course, I don't even think about it. But you can see, there's a couple lines. Like if you come right through here, you can roll everything, but that knob right there, that's a pedal catcher. So you can come to the outside and you got this little rock. You can drop it or just roll it. I'm going to roll it today just to show you guys. But these techniques about just controlling your speed and being confident at slow speeds, for me, what that enables me to do, I am not the bravest biker for a lot of reasons. But when you can do two things, get comfortable gripping your front brake and have good balance, it enables you to roll right up to the edge, spot your line, and then just go. Just like that. All right, let's keep going on. Guess I could have stopped and set up my other camera there, but I've got 4 more spots to show you on this ride. And they ain't on this trail. All right, guys. Let's find some steeper stuff. And as we're heading there, I'm gonna give you my 4 tips to riding steep. Tip number 1, pick a line, commit to it, and visualize yourself going down it. So often for me, I know I come to that steep stuff and there's like 2 or 3 different line choices. And sometimes I hesitate, not sure which one to do. As we all know with mountain biking, the worst thing you can do is go into a feature not fully committed. So tip 1, pick a line, commit to it. Tip number 2, man, grab some front brake. I remember the day this clicked in. And when I say grab some front brake, what I'm really saying is control your speed. And the only way to do that is by grabbing some front brake. It clicked in for me finally on Spirit Bear. Spirit Bear is a section of double black, really steep tech, like 2 or 3 different line choices. And I remember one day, Spirit Bear was running really grippy, and I just said, I wonder how slow I can go on this. I grabbed loads of front brake. Man, it made all the difference. And from then on, I've been a lot more confident. So, tip 1, pick a line, commit. Pick 2, grab some front brake, which really means control your speed. Tip 3, a big key to controlling your speed is keeping your weight centered. If you're like me, I tend to hang too far back over my rear tire when it gets steep, and it's just not necessary. It's like I'm scared of going OTV, but you're not even close. And the problem is, when you're grabbing lots of front brake, the idea is it's your front tire that gives you the traction, but that only works if you've got weight over your front tire. So if you've got all your weight hanging out in the back, you're not going to get the grip, traction, and the control that you're looking for. Tip number 4, don't get cocky. So I mentioned this because I was up here about 5 days ago and I tried to go down Spirit Bear. I was with my friend Jeff, you've seen on this channel. And the problem is it was wet. I have ridden Spirit Bear like 20 times by now, and I just went in way too confident. Didn't really think it through, didn't really take into account that the conditions were a lot worse. And let's just say I made it down Spirit Bear, but not on my bike. I lost my bike very early, took a pretty bad fall, got some road rash on my elbow, my shoulder, my arm, my other arm, my knuckles, my body was sore. So I say that, you know, just as a friendly reminder, there might be a feature you've done 100 times, but always, if it's a hairy feature where the risk is high, man, take the extra minute, check conditions. So here we are. We're on Devil Cross. There are 2 rolls here. This is one, Josh and I always argue, he thinks this one is more difficult, mainly because, you know, this isn't too bad. It's not too steep, but at the bottom, there's a little bit of a G out. Then you got this rut and you immediately come to a janky drop with a left-hand corner. However, you can really control your speed halfway down this thing. And I'm going to show you how slow you can do it. And then you have plenty of time to control your speed through here to get into control before you come around this corner. So let's see how I do on this. I would probably normally go a little bit faster on this. Let's see. So creep, 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 creep. Control. And look at that. Complete stop right before the corner. Bada bing, bada boom. Creep, 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 creep. Control. And look at that. Complete stop right before the corner. Bada bing, bada boom. This time, gonna let it go just a little bit more. Take 2. Here we go. Control, lots of front brake, front brake. You hear that? Like no sliding. Control, lots of front brake, front brake. You hear that? Like no sliding. That's how she's done, Mediocre style. Hello down there. All right, here's roll number 2. After looking at both of these again today, Josh, you're full of it. This roll is definitely a little more intimidating than the first one. Now it's true, you have a dead straight run out, which is good. It's a little bit of a rut. Let's see, kind of right down there. Not too much of a G out, but again, I like to just creep. For me, I really hate blind stuff. So the reason I like to creep with a front brake and kind of a mini track stand almost and pausing is so I can spot my exit. I mean, I don't really come to a stop. Anyways, let's send it. Slow, slow, slow. Lots of front brake. Lots of front brake. Get the weight centered. Woo! Lots of front brake. Lots of front brake. Get the weight centered. Woo! Give myself about a B+ on that. I did everything I taught you guys, except I got my weight a little too far back at the beginning. See if I can do it better. All right, here we go. Take 2. Keep the weight a little more central, like I tell you guys to do. But creep, 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 creep. Right to the edge, release. Woo! Creep, 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 creep. To the edge, release. And I won't say that's the proper way. I'll just say that's the Mediocre way. All right, occasionally you have some little roll that it's too steep. You know, you can't really control your speed just because it's too steep, and once you're on it, you just gotta go. And that's what this little roll is on air chair. It's short, but it's steep, has a little G out at the bottom, maybe a medium G out at the bottom. So the question is, what do you do when you got something like that? We still do number one, pick a line and commit to it. You still do number two, control your speed. You may not be able to control your speed while you're on the roll, but you certainly can grab some front brake going into it and out on the exit. Number three, you still need to keep your weight somewhat centered, although on this one, my weight gets a little further back. And number four, for sure, this is a roll that I have done 15 or 20 times. Drop. But definitely not gonna go overconfident on it. All right, let me show you this one. Here's the entrance. You can see on this rock, it's a rut, two of them. You don't want to catch your tires on those, so picking a line and committing to it, this is my line. Cross those ruts, send it straight down. You can see it's steep. It's a G out at the bottom, but I'm still going to do my 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a line and commit to it. Control my speed on the entrance. Keep my weight somewhat centered, and I'm not getting overconfident. There we go, little control. Whoop. Nice. Here we go, little control. Whoop. You can see that is a significant G out at the bottom. I think I can do that smoother. Definitely like the 150 millimeters in my fork for stuff like this. Let's see if I can smooth this out just a little. Control the speed, sender. That was better. Use the front brake more control. Control the speed, sender. That was better. Thanks for watching. I hope those 4 tips help you. I would love to know if they do help you and what your tips are for riding steep stuff. Leave a comment below, and let me just take a moment and say, I really, really appreciate when anybody on planet Earth takes a minute to watch one of my videos, giving it a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love it. You know what I always say, no matter how good you are, how bad you are, or if you're like me, kind of mediocre, the most important thing is to get out, get some exercise, get on those trails, have some fun. That's all I got for you today. All right, here we go. Loads of front brake, controlling my speed, a little bit of slippage, release. You.